Hey, Jared.
What?
You know how the current generation has the "what day is it" thing? Well, you know what day today is?
What day is it?
It's Groundhog Day.
That still sounded like a camel.
Nah. Did you ever see the movie Groundhog Day?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember every morning when he wakes up, the radio comes on and the two DJs are yammering back and forth, and the one goes, "It's Groundhog Day." Well, it's Groundhog Day. Welcome to February, hippies. And how's that winter treating you up there? Really? It's cold? It's cold in January and February in the north? That's crazy. I can't believe that's happening. I thought it was supposed to be like subtropics now, and all didn't all the hippies tell us that by 2015 all the glaciers were going to be melted and Hawaii was going to be underwater and all that stuff? But it hasn't happened yet. It's crazy. All right, folks, welcome to Student of the Gun Radio. I am your host, Professor Paul Markle, and on the other side of the glass case of emotion is Jared, the studio engineer, the producer, the man with the plan who's drinking his coffee out of his Operation Iraqi Freedom mug, which is just such a load of horse crap. Operation Iraqi Freedom. What do we call it at first? Enduring Freedom or Infinite Justice or something like that. And then we changed it because we're pansies and we didn't want to offend our enemy. The original name of the Gulf War was going to be, or Gulf War Part 2 was going to be like Infinite Justice or Ultimate Justice or Smackdown Part 25 or something like that. And then they modified it because it was going to hurt the Haji's feelings. It's like, that was basically, that was the beginning of the end. That's when we decided that we were no longer going to take this war seriously. When we decided to rename the war so it wouldn't hurt the feelings of our enemies. Yeah, that happened.
You mean you're worried about, you don't want to hurt their feelings?
You don't want to hurt the feelings of your enemy. That's just not fair. It's not fair.
Usually what you do is you dehumanize them.
You mean you destroy them?
Yes.
If you're not going to win, then why do it? But anyway, we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about lots of cool stuff. We're going to, well, it's a new week. It's Monday. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to the new week of Student of the Gun. We got 4 days worth for you, and then a bonus hour on Friday. Hey, bonus hour people, grad program people. We hope that you enjoyed your Tactical Tuner newsletter, which you got a little bit early, so you've already got it in your mailbox.
And if you're not a bonus hour grad program subscriber, you have until Friday, and you can get this month's issue of the Tactical Tutor.
In this month's issue, we talk about being armed in public and specifically situational awareness, and how just because you have a gun on doesn't mean you can stop being aware of your surroundings. And also, in addition to, during the newsletter, we talk about this habit that concealed carriers get into of arming and then disarming and arming and then disarming themselves all day long. They go about their day putting their gun on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off all day long. And how that may have led to a scary, violent situation, that taking your gun on and putting it off, or putting it on, taking it off, whatever.
Taking your gun on and putting it off.
You shut up. So anyway, you know what I'm talking about. That is in the Tactical Tutor newsletter this month. And the Tactical Tutor newsletter, along with the bonus hour and special grad program offers and dealios and what have you, exclusive discounts, are yours if you're a part of the grad program. So congratulations. Someone, how long have we been talking about the grad program, Jared? At least, 2-3 months now?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, the program came about because there were certain people out there in the audience that wanted more. They wanted additional material. They wanted more material. I'm like, okay, you hardcore, serious, dedicated fans of Student of the Gun, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put together a grad program for you guys. You're going to get bonus material, extra material, and so forth. Well, apparently not everybody knows about that or gets it, because every once in a while somebody will still make a silly comment, on Facebook or whatever about what's this all about, or I don't know what you're talking about, or what have you. I'm like, dude, how many times do I have to say this? I feel like when I come in front of the microphone, I'm like, okay, I said it, everybody gets it, I don't need to say it again. And then
we've got new listeners every time.
That is true. And one of the topics we're going to talk about today is actually the topic of the good guy of the week question. And it's something that we already discussed when this first came about. We talked about it on Student of the Gun Radio. This isn't a new story, but apparently it's been made new again because it was a slow news cycle for some AP or some hippies or whatever, and they regurgitated the story out, and apparently a bunch of people in the audience are picking it up for the first time, even though the story it's several months old. Actually, it goes back to before the midterm elections. But Jared's he's going to go ahead and tell us who our Excess Sites Good Guy of the Week is, and what their question was, and then what they need to do to claim their cool prize.
Our Excess Sites Good Guy of the Week is Ben W., and he posted this question in the forum, which is forums.studentofthegun.com. Go there, post your question. If we pick it, then you are the winner of the Good Guy of the Week pack. And if you want to receive the pack, Ben, I need you to give me your name, your address, your phone number, and your email address typed into the email and send it to Jared, Jarrad, at studentofthegun.com. And then fire that off to me, and I will forward that to Excess, and they'll get the pack to you. Ben says, when should a student of the gun consider purchasing body armor for home defense and general preparedness? Is armor something which should only be considered for purchase after one has taken a lot of training and stocked 6 months of food and medical supplies at home? Now that the liberal puke faces are trying to ban armor for civilian use, I'm trying to understand where armor falls in the preparedness priority list. If it matters, I'm referring to Class 3 and 3A armor and not worried about concealable carries.
Okay, yeah, this story came about because a puke face, and thank you for using that term correctly, a liberal puke face in California, and his name's Mike Honda. Every time I hear that, you know what I think of, Jared? I think of Street Fighter. Honda. Mike Honda is a left-wing progressive puke face from the People's Republic of California, and I don't believe that he's going to be reelected or that he's up for reelection if memory serves. And what Honda did is he put a bill in front of Congress. This is the National Congress, not the California Congress, but the National Congress, essentially attempting to outlaw the ownership of body armor by American citizens. And of course, when we talked about this, we mentioned the fact that this is tyranny on display. When the government decides to propose a law, and the first thing they do is exempt the state from that law, that is tyranny. Well, what do you mean that's tyranny? Yeah, it's tyranny, folks. When you have a government, when you have a state that applies laws to you and exempts itself from those laws, that is the definition of tyranny. Why do you think that the people who... All right, so if you work for the state, then you are more equal? Do we need to go back to Animal Farm? You know, some animals are more equal than others. Why do you think that working for the state makes you a special person? Well, you got to understand. I got to understand what? That if I get a job working for the state, then I'm special in my life. So what you're telling me is that that the lives of those who work for the state are more valuable and more important than the lives of the citizenry. We can protect people who work for the state with body armor. That's cool, and we need to do that. But we can't protect, the citizens shouldn't be allowed to protect themselves from gunfire with body armor, because apparently the lives of the citizens aren't that important. And as a guy who's been a police officer, and I've been there, I've done that, I've gotten many T-shirts. One of the things that's really annoyed me, or I guess I find frustrating, is they put this bill out, and it's full of confusing verbiage, and they've basically tried to muddy the waters. Essentially what they're trying to do is they're trying to make the uninformed, uneducated masses think, well, yeah, there's no reason that anybody needs to have that, because it's big and mean and scary, and it's black in color, and that's bad. And they start talking about types of armor and classes and so forth. I became a United States Marine in 1987. I was a police officer and all that jazz. I wore armor when I was doing executive protection. And I can tell you this, that in the early, it was the NIJ, National Institute of Justice, has been classifying threat levels, ballistic threat levels, since body armor was commercially available to police officers and law enforcement. And what they came up with, and this is what people have been using to buy their armor for many, many years, was a threat level. And you're like, what's a threat level? And you say, well, what they did is they took ballistic armor panels and they shot them with all kinds of different ammunition, 9 millimeters and 45s and 44 Magnums and all that stuff, commercially available ammunition. And then they figured, based upon what they shot it with and what it stopped, that was the threat level. And for concealable body armor, your minimum is a 2A, and then you have level 3, level 3A. And generally, it's real simple. The higher the number gets, the heavier and the thicker the body armor becomes. So as a police officer, because you have to wear this stuff 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, you want it to be comfortable. You want it to be lightweight. You don't want to feel like you're wearing a turtle shell. But at the same time, the heavier and the stiffer it is, the better protection you get. However, then it's less comfortable and so forth. So, but when it comes to concealable, flexible body armor, you're talking 2A, threat level 2A, threat level 3, threat level 3A. If you were to go, for instance, we referenced Safariland is a kind of a monster company, and they've gobbled up all these other body armor companies over the years. They own Second Chance now. They own Safariland Body Armor. They own who else do they own? They own a lot of people, a lot of body armor companies. American Body Armor, they bought them. ABA, they bought Second Chance. But if you go on to the Safariland.com website right now and you want to choose a ballistic vest, all right, let's say I'm there right now. So it says Second Chance Body Armor, the Summit, which is the trademark name for ballistic panel. So you go over and you choose your size. Okay, I'm a male, check, or it says fit, male or female fit. And then it says ballistic threat level. Choose your ballistic threat level. And this specific one, you can choose a level 2 or a level 3A. So you choose level 3A, and then you go on down and you blah, 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 blah. So when it comes to armor, you have your flexible armor, which is your soft panels that are made out of Kevlar or whatever the latest, coolest, greatest fiber is. And Kevlar is the most popular and what people know most about, but there's lots of different material that they use to make bullet-resistant vests. So you've got that, which is flexible or soft body armor. And then you have hard body armor, which is a threat level 3 or a threat level 4. And your threat level 3 or threat level 4 armor plates are thick and heavy, but they will stop rifle fire and shotgun slugs and so forth. Soft body armor will not stop rifles. Your 30-06 will cook right through soft body armor. With your 30-30s, 223s, all that stuff goes zip right through them because it's soft. But obviously it's more convenient to wear because it's not heavy. And then you also, in addition to having soft body armor and hard body armor, you have the question of concealable versus overt or external carriers. And what's really, I guess, in vogue or fashionable right now is your plate carriers, your armor carriers, your nylon. Everybody who makes stitched nylon anything makes a plate carrier. And the nice thing about plate carriers is, in addition to carrying your armor plates, they also have pouches for magazines and accessories and all that other jazz that you're going to need to go out there. So that's what you've got. Now, to your question is, should I buy it or should I not? It's totally 100% up to you. And you say, well, is that something I should only buy after I spend a lot of money on training and food and medical? It's 6 months worth of medical supplies. I hope you don't need 6 months worth of medical supplies. That's a lot of bleeding, but I digress. I kid. There are companies out there right now that manufacture relatively, I'm not going to say,
a couple $100.
Yeah, not cheap, but affordable. Now, this is the sad state of affairs, is we have companies in the United States of America that make soft body armor products and hard body armor products, but they will not sell them to quote unquote citizens. And I find that extremely insulting to me as a person, as a citizen who is also a military person and a police officer and so forth. So what you're saying is, well, we'll sell this to police officers, but we won't sell it to you because the life of a police officer is more valuable than yours or your wife's or your child's or what have you. I guess that's their statement. The truth is, guys, here's what I know. They do that to placate the state. When you have a company that won't sell armor to you, the citizen, they're doing that to make nicey nice with the state because the state's using all of your, let's face it, the government's using your tax dollar money to buy these $1,000 vests for SWAT teams and so forth. And so they don't want to upset the state by offering armor to you peasants. So what they do is they have specific policies that says Blackhawk has that policy, and I think it's disgusting. I think it's wrong. Available only to certified law enforcement and military personnel, but you peasants can't have it. Why? And if you sit down with them and say, why? Is it because the life of the American citizen is not as valuable? Oh, no, that's not it at all. It's just the law and the no, bullcrap. There are very few places in the United States where it actually is unlawful. Now, I'm betting in New York City you're probably not allowed because you can't put your hands in your pockets. But I'm at uspalm.com, uspalm.com, and they have plate carriers, and they will sell you, the citizen, the lawful citizen, a level 4 standalone vest. Here it goes. Let me see. They have plate carriers, but then they also sell the plates to go with them. They have a series called the Defender. And let me click on the Defender right now.
Isn't that the $300?
That's the one that I have. That's the one that it's if you want the front and back, it's $299.
Yeah,
it's a carrier and front and back panels, and the panels are certified level 3A. Okay, they're NIJ 06 level 3A panels, so they're soft armor panels. But you could pull those out, and if you had plates, you could put plates in their place. So, but U.S. Palm will sell it to you, the citizen, which is nice. So here's what I would say to you: Can you afford $200, $250, $300?
Sell the Xbox and bet you can.
Yeah, no kidding. How much is an Xbox?
I think they're like $400.
Xbox One is like $350. Yeah, if you've got an Xbox One, but you're bitching about the price of armor, go ahead and straighten your priorities out a little bit there.
I bet your TV costs more than $350.
Yeah, could you hold up your Xbox in front of your chest and stop bullets? I don't know. You say, well, when would I ever wear that and when would I want to wear it? A, it's your life. I don't care. Wear it whenever you want to. But let's say that you live in an area where all of a sudden it's has devolved into anarchy, like St. Louis, like Memphis, like Louisville, like pretty much any metropolitan area that is where the state of things are so fragile that if a police officer shoots someone who's trying to kill them but they don't have the same skin tone, then we're going to go ahead and riot and burn down all the stores and attack people in their cars and that kind of stuff. Maybe in that situation you might want to have something between your chest and the bad guy's bullets. I don't know. What I would tell you, though, is if you're serious about it, start right now. Do your research. U.S. Palm, those guys are friends of ours. Check them out first, and then there's a couple other companies. Unfortunately, what you'll find, though, with a lot of these companies whose clients are primarily the state, that they won't sell it to you just because you're a peasant. And there's a magazine. It's an online magazine called Slate.com, and they're pretty much communists. And Jared, this is what got the ball rolling this week. This is why we're getting so many messages. Hey, did you guys know they're trying to ban body armor? Yeah, we reported that story about 5 months ago, or at least 4 months ago. But 3 days ago, Slate.com did this article by Betsy Woodruff. I'm sure Betsy Woodruff is really she's down with the sickness and knows what she's talking about. It says Democrats introduce bill to ban civilian body armor. Police militarization has become a central concern for many in the wake of the Ferguson protests. You mean the thuggery and riots? Okay. but a small group of Democratic lawmakers has decided to focus on civilian demilitarization. Representative Mike Honda has introduced legislation that would ban everyone owning enhanced Type 3 body armor except certain authorized users such as first responders and law enforcement personnel. Per Honda's press release, the legislation hadn't gotten much media attention, and its small partisan base of support means it's likely to be dead on arrival. But it has some corners of the internet up in arms. Blah 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 blah. I
didn't know the internet had corners.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. The bill's proponents argue that Type 3 body armor only exists for military purposes, and there's no reasons for civilians to use it. How about to stop bullets from entering your body? Honda and the bill's other supporters have expressed concern that shooters would be able to use body armor to protect themselves from police while committing crimes. Now, hold on.
This armor has been available, and when was the last time it was used in a mass shooting?
1997, the North Hollywood bank robbery.
So, well, it's got to be this huge problem right now, though, because they're bringing up this legislation
every single day. You know?
Why didn't they propose this legislation after 1997?
They probably did, and someone probably said, "Shut up, you're stupid." Yeah, there you go.
You want to talk about skinny jeans now?
All right. Yeah, let's. So, folks, here's the deal. It's like a gun. All right. This kind of nonsense, this you don't need to have it because you're a peasant, it's more nonsense from elitist politicians and their cheerleaders in the media who think that well, you know, I am responsible and I'm intelligent and I can be trusted. But all of you other peasants, you're too stupid to be trusted, and we have to make more laws to protect you from yourselves. So that's pretty much the name of that game. And thanks for bringing that up.
Well, that's the body armor. It's level 3 body armor, and you don't need it. And or you didn't ask for it, or something like that. And then I say, well, I don't need a whiny little baby, but here you are.
What you don't need. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not the Bill of Needs. It's the Bill of Rights. But let's go ahead and Jared's got the main topic of our show. We're going to dive into this right now. It's called Teach Your Girlfriend to Shoot and Carry a Damn Gun. Jared's got an audio clip. Essentially what happened this last week was there was a home invasion just at the UCF, University of Central Florida campus. It was an apartment complex that is adjacent to the college, and it is mostly housed by students. It mostly houses students of the college. Didn't we just do a story recently where you were allowed a college said you could have guns on campus but not in campus housing because
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And you mentioned that was the stupidest thing you've ever heard. Anyway, long story short, guy and his girlfriend, both students at UCF, are home. They're in their apartment. It's in the evening. Dude hears a bang on the door. Bang, 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 bang. Gets up, walks to the door. Hey, who is it? Boom, the door bursts open. Two guys run in with guns, or one has a gun. They force him to the ground, knock him on the ground. They're like, where's your money, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Girlfriend is in the back bedroom. And Jared's going to go ahead and drop the audio clip right now and let you listen to what these folks had to say about their little incident.
22-year-old Nor Scargi still has marks from Tuesday night's armed burglary.
Yeah, they grab your neck pretty hard.
A little before 6 p.m.
They look
I
like
hear
hickeys.
a quick aggressive knock at the door. I go and look out the peephole.
Two men pushed their way through the UCF student's apartment at the Village of Alafaya Club, not far from campus.
He grabbed me by the throat. He took me like a little farther into the living room and pushed me down and said, don't move, just stay down. He
says a second suspect had a black hoodie and a gun.
He came in with the gun. He put it to my head, and he says, just don't move. They kept me on the ground, and they didn't realize my girlfriend was in her room. And thank God she was in her room and not with me in the living room. So, I yelled. I said, hey, grab the gun.
I freaked out, but my first thought, I need to get the gun. I need to protect us. So I quickly closed my door and locked it to give me some extra time to grab the gun.
The photo shows how the bad guy kicked her bedroom door down. UCF student Sable Nemi says the burglar was just inches from her face.
He immediately, when he saw the gun, he turned right back around, darted out, and both of them fled the apartment.
Her boyfriend grabbed her gun and went after them.
They dropped the gun as they were running. It ended up being a fake gun, pellet gun.
If we had no gun, it would have been game over. They were bigger than me, bigger than both of us, obviously. We had no way of stopping them. The gun was the one thing that made them run.
Wow. You guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? Oh, you know what? First, before we dive into this, I read the story, I listened to the news report, and the two douchebags are still at large. What's not in this story?
The description of them.
The description of, okay.
That's not new, though. We expected that.
Yeah. Okay, we got two violent felons who are willing to force their way into the home or apartments of college students, abuse them, threaten them with harm, rob them, and it doesn't occur to anyone to give the actual descriptions of these people that are currently still at large? Well, because you know what? After this, Jared, they probably decided, man, that was a close call. I'm all done being a criminal. I'm going to change my ways. I'm going to go get a good job, and I'm going to stop abusing and robbing people.
Or if they could get away with that, then they could get away with anything.
But be on the lookout for a large man with a black hoodie.
Yep,
that's
that
what
describes.
That's what you folks need to be. You if you're in the UCF area.
I saw one when I came in the building this morning.
Did you see a large man wearing a black
large
hoodie?
man wearing a black hoodie, and it said Hodor on it. He's out there in the front.
You better call the police.
Yeah, let me call the police.
You know what's messed up is I went to the original source of this story. The one that we put in the show notes was from controversialtimes.com, but they pulled this story from WESH.com Orlando. So I read the story, and I'm looking down, and it says, yada, yada, large men, black hoodie, blah, 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 blah. It says, no injuries were reported in the crime. Okay. Apparently when they knocked that dude to the ground, he's got bruises on his neck. That's not an injury. Oh, and they smashed the door of this chick's bedroom. It's unfortunate that it didn't happen, or say this. A neighbor said it's unfortunate that it had to happen, but I'm glad the girl knows defense and knows how to protect herself. Okay. And it says anyone with information is asked to call the crime line at 800-423-TIPS. So what information am I supposed to, they didn't give a description of the bad people. What info? Yeah. Wow, that's sad. All right, let's go ahead and start dissecting this. Number one, what is, all of you students of the gun out there, besides the comments about skinny jeans and stuff, what do you know? What are you sitting in your seat? You're screaming right now. You're like, well, what am I supposed to do, Paul? I don't know. Are you up? Are you awake? Are you dressed? Yes, you are? All right. Do you have a gun attached to your body? Well, no, because I'm at home. Really? Okay. Because nothing bad will happen to you while you're at home. And you'll have plenty of time to go get your gun, right? And this is a circumstance. All right, let's just say she was sitting on the couch reading a book, and he's sitting on the couch reading a book, and this happens, and they bust in, and she can't run into her bedroom and get her gun. Then what happens? Well, they just continue to abuse them and beat him and rape her and just do whatever they want to do, right? Okay. Wear a gun, people. Attach the gun to your body. That way you'll always know where it is, and you'll be able to control it. Now, all right, I'll give you a caveat. Let's say you're at home, it's a night, and you're out of your street clothes. You're in your comfy jammies and robe. Okay, rock on. What Jeff Cooper, in one of his books, and if you guys don't know who Jeff Cooper is, stop, pause this show right now. I want you to Google search, duck it, whatever you need to do, Jeff Cooper, and then know who he is, and then come back. All right. He once said, he goes, and it was one of his books, I'm paraphrasing him, but he says, if you cannot reach a firearm in 3 seconds, you've missed the point of the exercise. You've missed the point of the exercise of being an armed citizen. Being an armed citizen doesn't mean owning guns. That means you own an object. You're not an armed citizen. Well, what do you think? I should just have a gun on? No, I think you should lock it in a safe, put it on the second floor, lock it away. That way, when 2-3 scumbags bust in your front door, you say, hang on a second, I need to go upstairs and put in the combination in my safe and then get my gun out, and then I'll be ready to deal with you guys. Because that's how it works, right? Well, that'll probably never happen to you, so don't worry about it. So, number one, wear a gun. Number two, if you're not wearing a gun because you're in your jammies and so forth, have a gun where you can reach it. Number three, if you get an unexpected visitor, a bang, bang, bang on the door. Remember the dude, Jared, it was like 2 weeks ago where the guy in California answers, the 62-year-old guy or whatever, the retired guy, the football coach, answers the door.
Oh, yeah.
And says, hey, can I help you? And the guy attacks him. Give me your money. I want $1 million or whatever. And the wife runs into the back bedroom and comes out with a shotgun while they're fighting on the floor and the dude's bleeding and all that. Yeah. If you get an unexpected call, pick up a gun and walk to the door. Oh, well, what if it's nobody? Well, what if it isn't? Is it going to hurt you to pick up the gun? Well, I don't want to live like that, Paul. I don't want to live in a life of paranoia. Do you want to be a victim? You want to be knocked to the ground, knocked unconscious, tied up with duct tape, and lay there on the living room floor while your girlfriend or your wife is raped in front of you? Because that happens, and that has happened before, and it's going to keep on happening until we start thinning out the criminal gene pool in America. So, number one, have a gun, wear a gun. Have it where you can reach it. And that really, Jared, that leads us, you want to start talking about the finger safe and the locking the gun in the bedroom commercials that go on and on and on ad nauseum? Yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk about how stupid they are.
Well, folks, bless everybody's hearts in the gun industry, but they really try so hard to be reasonable and to seem reasonable and to not scare you into thinking that you should actually carry a gun. And we've seen it over and over and over again where the gun is locked in the combination safe in the bedroom, and the person hears something or they see a stranger outside, and they get up and they go to the bedroom and they very calmly unlock the safe and they get the thing out. Folks, you know what I want you to do? I want you to this is going to be a cool trick, Jared. All right, adrenaline does terrible things to your fine motor skills. It's really hard to work combinations, even the finger safes, even all that stuff. It's really hard to do that when you have a hardcore adrenaline dump. Now, let's say this chick was pretty smart and she could get the combination the first time. How long does it take to get from your front door to your bedroom door? In an apartment. Yeah, in an apartment. If you stand at your threshold, the front door threshold, and then walk quickly to your bedroom door and count 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Tell me how long it takes to get to your bedroom door, especially if you're in an apartment like this. I'm guessing that this chick's bedroom door was probably like 20 feet from the front door, you know what I mean? So she's in there and she's trying to work the combination on the safe when the dude's busting the door open, and your bedroom door is not going to stop a large, threatening male. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. He's going to put his size 12 foot into it, and he's going to be right inside there. So what do you do? And this is, if you guys have finger safes out there, all you guys with finger safes, and you also happen to have a treadmill, what I want you to do is this. I want you to get on your treadmill, and I want you to set it to, what do you think, like 7, 8 miles an hour? Set it high. Get up there, set it to like 7 miles an hour. If you can, do 8 or 9 for like 30 seconds. Yeah, that's it. Set it at 8 miles an hour and do 30 seconds. Shut it off, get off the treadmill, run to the gun safe, and see how long it takes you to. And if you don't have a treadmill, do as many push-ups as you can in 30 seconds, and then do that. And jump up, run to the safe. And set a timer. Don't stop until 30 seconds is over. Right. No resting. No resting. Resting's for pansies. Oh, folks, it's not easy. And you're like, but I'm concerned. I'm concerned about my children. You know what? I'm concerned about my children, too. That's why I attach the gun to my body. That way I always have control of that gun. I have control of that gun. Now, I don't have little kids anymore. All my kids know how to shoot, and they know how to deal with guns. But, folks, this nonsense about, well, I'm downstairs, I'm cooking in the middle of the day, and there's a gun in the house. It's locked upstairs in a finger safe in my bedroom closet. Okay, great. Good luck getting to your bedroom closet when the back door busts in and there's 3 crackheads. Good luck. Have fun with that. Or you could just draw your gun and shoot them and then move on with your life and stay alive. So this situation should be a wake-up call for you guys. If you're at home, folks, this is not going to stop, like I said, until we start thinning, until as a nation we get serious. We stop listening to ninnies and e-Hondas and all these other Slate.com puke faces and take it upon ourselves, because the police are not, and they can't stop you, or not stop you, stop bad people from attacking you. They can't do it. Sorry. And even, look at this deal. I mean, I think that this chick, you do what you got to do. I wasn't there, but what do we know now? We got 2 violent felons that they ran away, but they're not stopped. They're out there. They're going to do it. They're going to find another victim. And maybe the victim that they find, this might be your grandmother or your aunt and uncle, your mom and dad who are in their 70s. Maybe it's them. And this chick had the opportunity to ventilate at least one of these turds. There would be one less puke face on the street, but do what you got to do. All right, Jared, let's go ahead and continue on. We got a Go Team moment. I want to touch on this because it's kind of a cool story that was shared with us here just like 10 minutes ago. We got this. That's why I say amen, I shot. A good shot, man. And thank you, Filter, for the Go Team moment. This story comes to us from mlive.com. And it says, 11-year-old uses shotgun to scare off suspect during Lapeer County home invasion. And this is Lapeer County, Michigan. Lapeer County, Michigan, an 11-year-old girl was able to scare off a suspect later taken into custody during a home invasion in Lapeer County, North Branch Township. Deputies from Lapeer County Sheriff's Department responded around 3:45 p.m. on Friday, January 30th, to a Five Lakes Road home where a girl was home alone when a vehicle pulled into the driveway. The Lapeer County Sheriff's Office news release stated that one person knocked on the door and then forced their way inside of the home when they got no response. The girl locked herself inside a bathroom closet with a shotgun. The suspect eventually opened the bathroom door and the closet where the child was hiding. The girl aimed the shotgun at the suspect, whom then fled. It says, whom then? Is that correct?
The suspect, whom then fled.
I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be whom, but what do I know? Fled the home. Police said the girl was not harmed during the encounter. The suspect was located around 30 minutes later in Imlay City by local police, yada, yada, yada. 2 occupants of the vehicle, get this, a 53-year-old Detroit man and a 31-year-old Detroit woman were taken into custody. I'm sitting over here with the shock face.
Yeah.
This is my shock face.
You should see a shocked face over there.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's my shock face. Go Team.
If you check out our Instagram, I'll post a picture of the shocked face. Instagram.com/student of the gun.
Oh, man, I tell you what. Well, Go Team moment. Good job. And, the title of this episode is, teach your girl to shoot, teach your kids to shoot, teach your kids to defend themselves. And, Lord, this is a situation that could have gone really bad, really fast.
It's a good thing they were afraid of the gun.
Yeah. Well, and, man, I don't know what to tell you guys, but Go Team moment, good job. That's a plus. It's a win for the good guys. And they're like, well, they arrested him, so that means that they eventually will go to trial, and they eventually will do maybe a little bit of time in jail, and then they'll be right back out on the street. So now, while we're talking about kids, folks, school's back in, right? It's back in. Christmas break is over. It's been back in for about a month now, so we've got plenty of time for the school system Nazis to, well, let's go ahead and, Jared, bump me in here, brother.
When we grew up and went to school, there were certain teachers who would hurt the children any way they could.
I'm always disappointed when the bump songs, when the theme songs end. You know, I just want to sit over here and keep listening to the theme songs. But that is our public school psychological terrorism update theme. And this story comes to us from WLOX.com, and thank you to Miss Nancy for sharing this with me. It says, mother upset after teacher takes children's coats, sends them home in the cold. And you're sitting out there.
I didn't know WLOX went national.
Yeah, well, they got it off the AP wire or what have you. But anyway, Dateline, Charlotte, North Carolina. A Charlotte mother is upset after a school employee took her children's coats and sent them home on a cold day. Chandra Spates said that her children came home from Ranson IB Middle School Tuesday and told her a teacher had taken their winter coats because they did not match the school's uniform. Yeah. All right. The single mother of 5 says a teacher not only took the coats from 3 of her children, but from at least 20 other schools at the Project Lift LIFT school, which I'm sure that's just it's an FLA. It's a 4-letter acronym.
FLA.
Yeah, FLA. Says when the children came home from school, they came home with no coats on. So I said, "Where are your jackets? Where are your coats?" She said they took them. They took all the students' jackets during lunch at the cafeteria, and they're told if they wanted their jackets back, that they'd have to have their parents come up and get them. She said the reason that the children were given, the reason that the children were given was that their coats were not the right uniform color, hunter green. She added that last year the school sold coats that matched the uniform, but that this year the coats were not available in the right color. And then she said she called the school, and the school was already closed. Oh, my God. Folks, wow. Wow and wow. Now, also here it says the last year the school sold the jackets. So what the school did is they made a rule saying you have to wear this color of jacket. And, oh, by the way, you can buy them from us. You want me to tell the notebook story?
Yeah, go ahead and tell the notebook story.
This is for a while we lived in North Carolina, and Jared went to a North Carolina school when he was in first and second grade. Anyway, so the teacher gives a school supply list at the very beginning of the year. You know, it says your children have to have the following things. And on that list was a spiral notebook, but it couldn't just be any spiral notebook. It was a very, very specifically formatted spiral notebook. You guys know how spiral notebooks go. They're like multi-subject notebooks. The lines are so thick or so narrow and you know, so wide or so narrow and so forth. So it's it says on there, must be this type of notebook. So Jared's mom and I went out and we searched the local stores. We went to Walmart and all the local. We even went to the office supply stores to try and find this specific type of notebook. Couldn't find them anywhere. So, okay, well, I mean, I'm not going to beat my head against the wall looking for a spiral notebook for a second grader. Send Jared to school. Turns out that none of their parents could find these notebooks. But guess what? The teacher just so happened to have a case of these very specific notebooks, under her desk. And if the kid showed up and didn't have that notebook, she would give the kid a notebook along with a note telling them, get this home to your parents and they need to pay me $1 for this spiral notebook, right? So apparently we didn't get the note or respond to the note fast enough, because I was at work in my office in Raleigh, North Carolina, when my office phone rings, and it's Jared's teacher informing me that 2 days previously she had given him a notebook and that he had not returned the $1 for the notebook, and that when he came to school the next day, he had to have that $1 for that notebook. And I said, okay, right. So I turned it over to Mrs. Markle, and Mrs. Markle took care of it. And Mrs. Markle is less nice than I am. But when I saw this right here, I thought, yep, there's a North Carolina school district. There's a North Carolina school running a racket. Oh, well, you can't. We changed the color of the coats, and you can't find any of those coats, so you have to buy the coats from us. Folks, I can't even imagine the thought process of an adult who would take a child's jacket and tell them they're going to keep their jacket. You know what? You're so bunched up about this cool dress code, send a note home. Send a letter. You don't send a child home without their jacket.
Oh, it's okay because it's not cold there. Didn't you know that?
Oh, okay.
It's the glaciers are melting and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're in global warming now. But
So LIFT is Project Leadership and Investment for Transformation.
what kind of bull crap, what kind of hippie crap is that?
I don't know. They probably came up with LIFT.
And they're like,
were
we need to-
what
Oh,
words
yeah.
can we make with this?
It's uplifting. It's gonna be uplifting. Come up with 4 words that make up the word lift.
It'll
Yeah.
lift your coat right off your child's back.
Yeah, I can't even fathom. I don't even. I have no words. But just remember this: your kids do not belong to you; they belong to the state. The state is going to allow you to house them and to feed them, but in all other matters, the state has final say. All right, folks, that does it for a Monday. Wow, we pushed it a little bit, like a couple minutes farther than we should have, but you're welcome. We'll be with you tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow's episode. We're going to talk about a little story called "Don't Stop Shooting." Now remember, until we're together again, you're a beginner once, but you should be a student for life.